Welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about pneumonia. So what's the definition? It's an infection or inflammation in the lung parenchyma caused by microorganisms or pathogens or any foreign substance. This inflammation causes water to enter into the lungs and making the breathing difficult. What's the pathophysiology? Pneumonia occurs when there is some impairment to our normal defense system, like damage to the mucociliary escalator. What happens is, during inhalation, air goes down through the trachea into bronchi and bronchioles, reaching the alveoli, which are tiny air spaces and look like bunch of grapes wrapped up in capillaries. In these alveoli, gas exchange occurs. Oxygen leaves the alveoli and goes into the bloodstream, while the carbon dioxide leaves the bloodstream and exhaled out of the body. What happens is, when you inhale air, you breathe in some microbes as well. But we have a defense system to protect ourselves from these microbes. For example, the cilia that help to beat the mucus and the large bacteria upward, so that we either spit it out or swallow it. If there is a defect in this mucociliary escalator system, for example in smoking, the cilia fail to clear the respiratory system or the passageways, and bacteria is able to colonize the lung tissue, thus causing damage to it. The second cause is when there is impaired cough reflex. When there is some defect in your cough reflex, for example, people taking opioids or alcohols, sedatives, morphine, hydrocodone, or there is some damage to the brainstem, or people taking some antitussives, that will inhibit the cough reflex. Thus, bacteria will colonize the lung tissues and damage it. The next cause is damage to the alveolar macrophages. Damage to the macrophages, that is the alveolar macrophages, by for example alcohol or smoking, these bacteria will colonize. Why? Because the macrophages cannot be able to engulf the bacteria and they are not be able to destroy them. So all these causes will lead to damage to the lung tissues, causing inflammation and pneumonia. Now, what are the causes? Among the causes, 80% of pneumonia is caused by bacteria. And among these bacteria, Streptococcus pneumonia is the most common one, causing 65% of the community-acquired pneumonia. This bacteria is a gram-positive bacteria. The second one is the H. influenza bacteria. This is a gram-negative and is the second most common cause of community-acquired pneumonia. It's more common in people with COPD, bronchiectasis, cystic fibrosis, and asthma. The third one is the mycoplasma. It usually occurs in the school and college age and is the common cause of atypical pneumonia. Chlamydia. Chlamydia is basically an intracellular parasite. This chlamydia pneumonia causes pneumonia which is called the walking pneumonia. The other cause is Legionella. It's a gram-negative bacteria and it does not transmit from person to person. It develops in contaminated water. The other one is Staph aureus. This is common in post-viral infections like the upper respiratory tract infections. And if it gets resistant to methicillin, it's called methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, that is the MRSA. It can also spread through hematogenous route, like in the IV drug users and also in the immunocompromised or elderly patients. The next cause is the Klebsiella. It's common in chronic alcoholics and in aspirators. The next one is Pseudomonas aeruginosa. It is common in the immunocompromised patients, AIDS or HIV, or people having some structural abnormality of respiratory system like cystic fibrosis or bronchiectasis. Now, what are the viral causes? Respiratory syncytial virus, that's the parainfluenza virus. It's common in infants and young kids. Next one is the influenza virus. It's common in adults. The cytomegalovirus, more common in the post-transplant patients or immunocompromised patients. And the fourth one is the varicella zoster. The next common cause is the fungal causes. They are more common in the immunocompromised or the immunosuppressive patients taking immunosuppressive drugs, like this pneumocystic pneumonia. Number 2 is this histoplasmosis. This is seen in the river valleys due to that bird or bat droppings. And coccidioides, it's particularly seen in the or found in the soil, like in the desert areas. Now, coming to the signs, symptoms of typical pneumonia. You will find increased heart rate of these patients, that's the tachycardia, increased respiratory rate, fever, cough with sputum production, fatigue because due to hypoxia, and shortness of breath. Now, what are the signs, symptoms of atypical pneumonia, which is caused by the mycoplasma, chlamydia, legionella, viruses, fungi? They don't cause the increased heart rate. They normally cause the extrapulmonary symptoms like headache, nausea, vomiting or diarrhea, fatigue or malaise, myalgia or severe muscle pain, low-grade fever, and dry cough. Coming to the pneumonia types. Number 1, the community-acquired pneumonia. As the name indicates, this pneumonia is acquired in community or hospital, but stay must be less than 2 days. Common bacteria are Streptococcus pneumonia, H. influenza, Mycoplasma, Chlamydia, Legionella. The next one is the hospital-acquired pneumonia. Now, the common causes of hospital-acquired pneumonia are Staph aureus, usually it is resistant in hospital-acquired pneumonia, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Actinobacter, and Serratia. Now, there are 2 subtypes of hospital-acquired pneumonia. Number 1 is the ventilator-acquired hospital-acquired pneumonia. It's seen when somebody is being intubated for more than 42 to 72 hours. And the next one is the healthcare associated pneumonia. It's another subtype of hospital-acquired pneumonia, that's the HAP, and commonly seen in the residents in some long-term care facility like the nursing home, or people receiving some home infusions, or people on dialysis, patients on dialysis. So, what's the diagnosis? Normally, we first do the physical examination. So, on physical examination, we do the inspection. On inspection, you will find increased respiratory rate as the typical pneumonia. Second is the intercostal retractions. On palpation, you will find in lobar pneumonia, there will be decreased unilateral lung expansion. That is, the lung which is damaged, that is, there will be decreased expansion of the lungs. And there is increased tactile fremitus. You will feel more vibrations on the palm of your hand because of the more fluids. On percussion, there will be dullness. On auscultation, there will be bronchial breath sounds, that is harsh bronchial sounds. And in very bad pneumonia, you will find, you will hear crackles. Now, coming to the lab. The first one is the chest X-ray. There are 3 anatomical types of pneumonia. Like lobar pneumonia, you will find some consolidation of alveoli and bronchi. In bronchial pneumonia, you will find diffuse patchy opacities at the base, commonly at the base. And in interstitial pneumonia, It's an atypical type of pneumonia, and there is inflammation in interstitial space between the pulmonary capillaries in the alveoli in the surrounding bronchioles. So there is patchy opacities, but primarily in the perihilar space. In Klebsiella pneumonia, you will find cavitation and abscesses. Now coming to sputum cytology. This sputum cytology is through gram stain and culture. It gives a little bit of idea what kind of bacteria is there. Like if the sputum color is currant jelly, is the classic of Klebsiella. If it is rusty or bloody, it's classically seen in strep pneumonia. If it is foul smelling, it's anaerobes. If it is green sputum, means Pseudomonas or H. influenza. Coming to the blood workup, you will find increased WBCs, increased ESR cause of the inflammation is non-specific, increased CRP is a sign of inflammation, and serum cold agglutinins. Normally in the mycoplasma pneumonia, there is increased agglutination of the RBCs at cold temperature. So in mycoplasma, you will find this serum cold agglutinins. Coming to the treatment. Community acquired pneumonia. If there is community acquired pneumonia with no comorbidities and no recent antibiotics taken in the past 90 days, so what's the treatment option for those patients? You can give macrolides, for example azithromycin, which is a protein synthesis inhibitor, or doxycycline is a tetracycline, it's also a protein synthesis inhibitor. If patient has community acquired pneumonia with underlying comorbidities and he has taken some recent antibiotics in past 90 days, like what are these these underlying comorbidities may be? They may be COPD, cancer, kidney disease, heart failure, diabetes, immunosuppressive patient taking immunosuppressive therapy, and with asplenia. So what is the treatment option for those patients? We can give respiratory fluoroquinolones, for example levofloxacin. We can still give macrolide or doxycycline, but if we give any of these two, then we have to give high dose amoxicillin or augmentin or third generation cephalosporins. If there is community acquired pneumonia with other serious signs and symptoms like CURB 65 means confusion, uremia, increased respiratory rate and decreased diastolic blood pressure, P4 blood pressure, and 65 means age more than 65. If any of these signs is present, if one of these signs is present, then give antibiotics and send home. If two of these signs symptoms are present, admit for observation. If three or more of these signs symptoms present, then admit in ICU. If there is community acquired MRSA, then give vancomycin or linezolid. The other category is the hospital acquired pneumonia. If you suspect hospital acquired pneumonia, and if this is the Pseudomonas pneumonia, so if you suspect the Pseudomonas pneumonia, you can give Zosyn, Cefpime, Imipenem or Meropenem. If this hospital acquired pneumonia and it is early onset HAP, like the hospital acquired pneumonia, what do you mean by the early onset? Early onset means patient being in the hospital greater than 2 days but less than 5 days, or there is no multi-drug resistant pathogen. So there are 4 treatment options. Number 1, third generation cephalosporins, respiratory fluoroquinolones, or atropine or Unicin. Now the late onset hospital acquired pneumonia. What do you mean by late onset? Late onset means patient being in the hospital for more than 5 days or has developed a multi-drug resistant pathogen. So what's the treatment option for these patients? You can give aminoglycosides or fluoroquinolones like the levofloxacin, plus you can give 3 other medicines along with these like Zosyn or carbapenem but not atropine or cefpime or ceftazidime. Coming to the complications. What are the complications of pneumonia? Septic shock, pleural effusion, meningitis, abscess, and hypoxia. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.